sounds arrogant, President replies, Northern Elders Forum. Family leaders Deborah and Plateau and insist on Sunday protest. On The Nation.
On The Nation newspapers, Southern PDP leaders consider fresh option. AFDB juices would not allow me contest for the 2023 presidency, says additional. Federal government puts Facebook under watch over IPOB. Presidential governorship primaries, APC begins process. Over to The Guardian newspapers.
On The Guardian, security operatives shoot disperse students protesting as EFCC arrests former speaker Ete over alleged contract fraud. Atiku denies barring journalists from meeting with delegates, apologizes. Deborah, NBA postpones Sokoto conference as UN Department Secretary General, IPAC, demand justice. Flight disruption looms as fuel scarcity worsens. On the Daily Trust newspaper now.
On the Daily Trust newspapers, more worry for passengers. NCAA alerts airlines over hazy weather. Female trafficker nabbed in Kwara transporting 4 underage girls for sex trade. Senate seats are down for Governor Bello, says Senator Sabi. FCT IRS introduces electronic tax clearance certificate to check forgery. Police destroy 10 million naira drugs in Lagos. Over to these day newspapers.
Fears mount in APC over moves to zone presidency to Northeast. Tinubu, I won't quit politics, presidential race. Buhari pledges to increase investments in aviation safety and security. Deborah's murder. File charges reflecting gravity of situation. NBA tells Sokoto government. Presidency flays Northern elders for asking part of Nigeria to leave. Finally, on the pen-pushing newspaper.
Finally, on the pen-pushing newspapers, Emergency Management Agency confirms recovery of 9 corpses at Kano explosion. And these are the headlines making the round this morning across different Nigerian newspapers. Send us your comments, send us your contributions on 070-317-56537. 070-317-56537. My name is Esther Alaribe, and I have with me Somto Titilayo Ajama. And we're being joined by our analyst for the morning. We have Buki Femi Ajala. Hello, Buki. How are you doing today? Hello, Buki. Can you hear me? Buki, can you unmute your mic if you can hear me? Oh, I see Buki is still trying to get her mic on. Yes, so Somto, on this particular one, this one we're going to be taking first on the Guardian newspapers. Security operatives shoot dispersed students protesting ASUU strike. So you see, when I when I started off the conversation about this whole students going to protest and all of that, I told you at first that I don't think this was a good idea. I don't think this was a good idea. Hello, Buki. Hello, Buki. Can you hear me? Oh, seems we still can't hear Buki. All right. Security operatives in Akure, Ondo State yesterday fired shots and gunshots and dispersed students protesting against the elongated strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU. Now, the students from Federal University of Technology, Adekunle Ajasin University, and Olusegun Agago University of Technology had barricaded the Ilesha-Akure highway. Now, video of the incident was trending online yesterday, and it showed some of these protesters, these students, scampering for safety as the operatives fired shots. So you see,
no, if you ask me, it's particularly offensive. And the reason is simple. You're encouraging what the security operatives are doing. No, I am not. There and say you're not. You can sit there and say you're not. But you say one thing, but the meaning of what you're saying is literally pointing to a whole other thing. So hold on.
Okay.
Because when we started this entire conversation, the focal point of the conversation was peaceful protesting and for the police to safeguard the lives of these people. I remember clearly that every time we mentioned peaceful protesting, we mentioned that the police should safeguard the lives of these people because the duty is first to the citizens before anybody else. We had this entire conversation several times, and now we're back on this same topic the police that are supposed to safeguard these people are shooting. Now, here it says the disperse shots. I don't know if they shot at them. I don't know if they shot it. To be honest, nobody really cares. And I'll tell you why nobody really cares. Because if that bullet came down and hit somebody and somebody died, it won't be a situation of he fired into the air. Nobody really cares about that. The truth of the matter is they're not supposed to be in that space shooting in the first place.
All right.
So it's not now by don't ever get me started. Like you just
wait. We're being joined now by Buki Femi Ajala. Good morning, Buki.
Good morning, Esther. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Good morning.
Hello, Buki. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, newspaper review family. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, Buki. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And we're already having it rough this morning on this one.
Yes, I had that.
This one on the Guardian newspapers. So I am not saying that what the security operatives have done is right.
But you're saying,
wait, my own standpoint first is, like for every time we get to talk about this topic, I have said that I really do not support the students going out to protest. Fine, there might be some students who genuinely want to protest the whole strike and them sitting at home and all. But we have some other people.
You didn't hear anything like that in this case.
Yes,
no, nothing like that. Exactly. So can we put that aside because that didn't happen? We cannot bring hypothetical situations into a real life situation. That will not be permissible. So let's focus on the task at hand, which is security operation. You can see the van in the picture. It's right there. They came and opening shots. I won't say where because I don't know. But the honest truth of the matter is that happened. Now, there was a whole different incident in Sokoto the other day over people that were vandalizing lives and property. But we did not hear of one single security operative at any point, at any time. That went on for hours, doing whatever it is we're doing, rampaging, going on, just doing whatever they were doing. Now, in that situation where you should see them in complete armor of God, from the crown of their head to the sole of their feet, we didn't see that.
So please.
Now, in this situation, if this is to dissuade them from protesting, I think this particular measure is moot. This is the wrong approach. This is completely the wrong concept.
Knowing that you're dealing with Gen Zs and millennials,
this is the kind of action that makes them come another day. And a bunch of people who didn't like what happened will now join them and escalate the situation. So let's
hear what Buki has to say.
I just want to convict these people.
Buki, what do you think about it?
Indict them, that's the word.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, I had you soon too. I had you soon too. But this is the way I want us to approach it. I hope I will make sense to a lot of people that are listening to us. It has come to the bare, to the open, that laws are made for people and laws are used for another set of people. That is the way I see it. Now, coming to protest, we know it's a constitutional right to protest. Now, we also know because of so many issues that are going on in the country, where the youths are very restless, they've been at home for a very long time. I mean, for some of them that are wise, they're already doing online schooling. But for some that don't even have the means to buy data, I mean, the government should know that. Some people do not have the means to buy data. And then, of course, the insecurity, the joblessness of some people that want to take advantage of any slightest thing, to cause an uproar, to go and steal, to go and break shops and things like that. So now, if it is our constitutional right to protest, then government, and I speak to the security operatives, it is their duty to protect. We see how protests are done in developed nations. The security are on guard. I mean, they are on guard, stand by, and they are guarding the protesters. So if anybody outside of the protesters, want to come and do something, they know how to tackle it, back end. So, but we do not have that here. So it looks as if, or it sounds as if that if the government, the security operatives are in support of the protest, they will allow. If they are not in support of the protest, they will not allow. And then, of course, when they want to have protests, I believe that the way they are trained, they know where the hoodlums is. They know where, those that will make the tantrums, they know where they are. They know how they will operate. They have been trained. I don't know what will to tell us the normal thing that it was hijacked by hoodlums. Now, so if it was hijacked by hoodlums, are they saying they are incompetent to address such issues? Are they saying that? So these are questions begging for answers. I mean, they protested in Benin. I mean, they even went on the street. They were even cooking. At least I saw protests like that. Nothing happened. So why is it that it's different in Akure? There must be questions that we must ask the security operatives. Who ordered them to shoot? Why did they shoot? So does that mean they do not have the manpower, the intelligence, the capacity to address issues coming from the hoodlums? Who are these people? So they have not. So rather, because of their inefficiency and their ill capacity, they now started shooting, and then they now disperse, the students. That is their constitutional right. Something that makes me plead for Nigeria is the fact that we pray that we'll have responsible leaders that will take on responsibility to say, not under my watch will this happen. ASUU, we've been even the so-called religious leaders, Mr. President, you understand there have been a lot of stakeholders engagement meetings, all kinds of meetings, all kinds of 3-man committee and all that and all that. Up till now, they have not resolved it. What is it that they cannot resolve? And meanwhile, our children are at home. If they don't want to see, it will get to a point where the parents will say, what I want to do it. We are going on the street. Then that they want to see something, that they want to do something. Is it then? Where are the fathers of the nation? Where are the so-called leaders of the nation? Even the so-called politicians that are already canvassing for 2023. Where are they? Let's speak to them. Where are they? It's not all about converting from one state to another state. Can you solve this problem? Where are they?
Can I just add to this that it's the Nigerian army that went to that space. The army, not the police. And I'm asking myself, what is the army doing at that point? No, I was referring to the write-up, the content of the write-up. There's a part there that says, the people, there was a video, the kept shouting the Nigerian army, see what they did, see what the Nigerian army has done to us.
It still boils down to what I said.
But yet, please, let's be serious. I agree with you. The Nigerian army is yet to issue any statement on this. Yes. So let's be calm about this.
They will not issue because one. Let us look at answers. Has anybody said anything? So they will not. And that's why we say that the rule of the law in Nigeria is faulty. We do not have leaders that can hold themselves to say, not under my watch. Everybody is there. It looks as if majority of them, are there for their selfish interest, or that they were there and their mouths were gagged and they allowed their mouths to be gagged. Because if we say that we know leadership, we know what to do, then let's do it. But when you say you know it and you're not doing it, then there's something wrong. It is that you get out of that place, you do the right thing.
All right. Thank you very much, Buki. It is 12 minutes to 8 on Women Radio WFM 91.7, and this is the newspaper review. The newspaper review is where we get to review the dailies and analyze them with our analysts for strike. comments, your contributions, and your own analysis on 070-317-56537. 070-317-56537. All right, Tumtum.
Okay. Now I'm going to the says it will go ahead with its nationwide of Shehu who was stoned to death and burned for allegedly blaspheming Prophet Muhammad. This is despite a ban on religious protests by the Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, and an appeal by the Nasarawa State Governor, Abdullah, going to happen. That on Sunday, they will still protest. Not a very good idea. This is a very good idea for the same concern that Esther has, which you will keep bringing up. And it looks like, and it's a valid concern. Hold on. I'm not even going to make chances are that when the protest starts for a good cause, there are chances, the truth of the matter, if we stay quiet, it looks like saying that you condemn something, not particularly being support of something, it's just lip service. It doesn't do anything for anybody. The truth of the matter is, even the protest, if we're being honest, even the protest doesn't particularly do anything either. But it's one step past the point of silence and just using words as pawns and doing nothing. So Khan is saying that, you know what, we're still going to protest, even though you have said we shouldn't, we're still going to do it in solidarity with what happened with Deborah and her family and the general Christian populace in the north. So this is still happening, and personally, I mean, you already know my stand on it. So, Buki, I want to hear what you think about it. And the concern about the protest being hijacked, is that reason enough for the protest not to take place on Sunday nationwide?
This is what I would say to it.
Okay.
And it's still, either it is instigated or it comes natural protest. So along the line, we operate peaceful protest. Or it's a natural cause or whatever it is. So yes, Khan has said that they want to protest, and we've had different governments, I mean state governments say, oh, it has been banned, public protest has been banned. Okay, this one is saying they've not yet been given authority, all kinds of things are coming. But hey, the issue is, this protest, they have said they are not going on the streets. They are going to be in their secretariat, or where they do not have a big secretariat, then they would make use of the church,
big church
premises, or any of the churches that have a big premises. Seriously, I do not see why they cannot have that. All what I will just say is that even if they are still going to have that, they should have the presence of the security protecting them. Now, I hear you, Tonto, that at the end of when they protest, what's it all about? Protest also has its own advantage in that, hey, we are here, listen to us. It's the very first basic thing, to say, look, we have a voice, we have a right. But beyond that, there have to be lots of other engagements. Where they say do not protest, in my own little wisdom, I will say they should not even do that, because we do not know where this bad eggs is. We don't know if it's instigated by the security of operatives. We don't know if it's
Don't be protesting.
We don't know anything.
Yes,
we know what's happening. Problems are there, and they are shooting and all that. And we do not want any more bloodshed. Say do not protest. We obey the laws of the land, but we also have